Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to the first of 3 videos with the new Audi content and the 2 new tracks for the December update for RaceRoom. I didn't buy either of the Volkswagens, they're just not my cup of tea. It's not to say we won't do it in the future, but just right now it wasn't for me, so stayed away from those. But here we are at Brands Hatch Grand Prix Circuit, something that everybody who has RaceRoom has been waiting a long time for, and it's finally here. So we're here in the new Audi GT2. Racing against the Porsche Club Sport GT2. I know last year we did a video on the new Porsche, but to be honest, I have not driven the car since that video, which is unfortunate. But with it being the only car in, oh boy, way wide there. With it being the only car in the new GT2 class, didn't really find the need to drive it. But now that we've got a second car within the class, and do a little racing, makes it a little bit more appealing. Tricky cars to drive too. Not a ton of downforce, but a lot of horsepower. And then we got a Porsche floating around on our inside here, trying to push us around. So yeah, again, it feels so good to finally have the GP course here. Not that there's anything wrong with the Indy circuit, but if you're gonna drive Brands Hatch, you gotta drive the full Grand Prix. I know SRO is trying to do a really good job with the GT2 class, getting that going in the real world. Haven't had a ton of luck. Barely clipped our Audi buddy there. We had an issue. It's a tricky corner head down to the backstretch there. So we're doing a 10-minute race. AI's at 100%. See what they're like. Obviously, there's been a lot of updates in this December build. Saved it, which is awesome to see the amount of work they're doing. And why I really enjoy this title. It's just a shame being in the States. Oh boy, wide. It's a tricky car to drive. Ooh, tires are all dirty now. What I was gonna say is, you know, being in the States, it's a little hard with RaceRoom. It's a very European-based game as far as users go. So unfortunately, I don't get to really you know, do any of the ranked server stuff. A lot of that's going on during the day when I'm at work, as far as when people are racing. I do check from time to time at night, but yeah, there's like a race with one person in it or whatever. Not really worth doing. That's not to say I don't love single player and racing against the AI. I certainly do that, and obviously if you've seen the channel, there's plenty of ADAC content doing that. Trying to do some other races on there. I know I actually had lined up I was going to record a GT2 race, the old GT2 cars at Bathurst, and then all of a sudden we had the oh boy, it took too much speed, way too much speed. Took way too much speed through there, and we're now running last, but oh well. Anyway, I was saying I was gonna do an old GT2 class race at Bathurst, and then right as I was getting ready to do that, Sector 3 made the announcement that they were coming out with this car, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to hold off. I still do want to do that race. I think it'd be a lot of fun to race those cars around there, but had to definitely give these cars a try, and as you can see, tricky. I'm gonna have to put in some more time to understand it a little bit more. We're running just the default setup here, which I'll probably do with the other ones as well too. Haven't done really any practice, just kind of jumped into a race. And so out of the box it feels alright, but yeah, it's just about trying to understand this car and what it's trying to do. I'm not going to take it in as deep this time. Yeah, pushing wide there. I don't know if I need to grab third or not. And that's some of it, trying to figure out types of gears this car can run in. Yeah, third gear feels pretty good there. So about Brands Hatch, track looks really good. Feels run a ride there. Feels good, looks good. I think they did a great job with it. Son of a bee. Man, this is a tricky car. And around this track too. Didn't feel like I was pushing too hard there, but apparently took too much speed or too much curb on the inside. Yeah, see. Yeah, third's not the gear through there, but maybe with some setup work you'll be able to get it to turn a little bit better. Certainly hear the tires squealing quite a bit. So sorry about the mistakes and kind of losing the pack there, but I guess that is what happens sometimes when you are new to a car and don't know it super well. Really hard to get through there, and that's such a tricky corner no matter what car you're driving, because the goal is obviously to carry speed through there, but it is so easy to either get too much curb on the inside or just carry too much speed through there, and then you end up out on the far side of it, which is not where you want to be. This track would be great to do another redo on this car, that's for sure. But obviously the F4, F3 class, and touring, well, maybe touring cars. It might be just a touch too long for touring cars, or... Oh man, alive! Yeah, this car does not have the rear downforce. So you need to be careful. Just so many mistakes. And again, car I don't know all that well, but tricky. Like I said, I don't feel like I'm really pushing it, but apparently I am, because I'm just making a ton of mistakes here. But hopefully in the next two cars, that's not the case at all. Come to the checkered flag too, and I make the mistake. Well, but anyway, so yeah, this is the Audi GT2, and yeah, tricky car, and that's not always a bad thing. Allow me to put in a little bit more time with it and get better with it. But yeah, it's really great to have both this car for that class and also Brands Hatch in the game. And yeah, we're going to move on to the Audi GT4, and we're going to do that race at Zolder. So thanks for watching. Alright, hey everybody. As you can see, we're race 2 here. We're in the Audi GT4 at Zolder. Haven't done Zolder in quite some time, or in RaceRoom. So that'll be fun. Plus, should be a decent GT4 track. Running the default setup. Just want to see how it is out of the box. And yeah, really happy that this car made it into the game. I think it really rounds out the GT4 class, because I feel, even though we put them in this race, both the KTM ahead and the Lotus don't get a lot of love, and the predecessor Porsche in the class I don't think got a lot of love. But obviously when we got the Porsche and the BMW, that was very nice. I think this just adds a little bit more to the class. If you want to do single make, or not single make, but single class racing, but also if you want to do any multi-class racing. Keeping the theme, we're just doing a 10-minute race here. Car feels pretty good out of the box. And as the class is kind of intended for, get a lot of great wheel-to-wheel battling, which again I think is why it was really important to kind of, you know, round this class out, because I think that's what everybody's kind of looking for. Whether it be GT4s or TCRs, or so. I knew he was there, didn't want him to push me out of the way. It's again a very beautiful car. So while we did the GT2 video last, and that car similarly doesn't have a ton of downforce like this one too. That one's got a lot more power than this one's got, so gotta adjust a little bit to driving it as far as gears go. Yeah, good stuff so far, really enjoying it. As you can see, having some good fun with the AI around here. They're set at 100%. Which I did for the GT2 video, and probably will keep the AI at 100% for the GT3 video as well. I think this I think this car would be really good for multi-class racing, which again is why it helps that the class is getting rounded out more. So if you wanted to do GT3s and GT4s, not only do you have more to race in your own class, but depending upon what you pick for the multi-class race, a little more options if you're the GT3 coming through. Yeah, this has been a blast. Really enjoying this car a lot. And actually, this track combo too with it is very nice. Actually, I have to do a longer race here than this little 10-minute one, because yeah, this is really enjoyable. Fortunately, I haven't come up on any other Audis. They must all be at the front. Oh wow, this Porsche got quite the run. Yeah, this is good stuff here. Really enjoying this. So I kind of went quiet. Yeah, so again, out of the box setup wise, the car feels really good. Ooh, took it in a little too deep. Probably a breaking point if I don't have a car in front of me. But yeah, car feels really good out of the box. Maybe just a touch of on throttle understeer, but not terrible by any means. Oh, here we go. Here's another Audi. Just talking about that. Yeah, this is really good fun. Like this car a lot. A little more cautious than that time. Take it around the outside here. Got her to stick. Good change of direction in the car. And that's the end of the race. So yeah, that was our 10-minute race here in the Audi GT4. And yeah, that's a lot of fun. This is a really fun car. Well done to Sector 3 on this one. Huge boost to the class. As I mentioned, you know, the BMW and the Porsche are nice, but this definitely helps the class a little bit more. Whether you do single class racing or multi-class racing, I think it'll be good. And you get that wheel-to-wheel battling, which is always very nice. And so the AI I thought did really well around Zolder. It's a tight track, and as you can see, but I thought they did very well. So yeah, stay tuned. We're going to be doing the Audi GT3 Evo car at Watkins Glen next. Really excited for that. So stay tuned. Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to the third video of the new Audi releases. We're driving the R8 LMS GT3 Evo here at Watkins Glen of all places, and it's really exciting to have Watkins Glen in RaceRoom. And we are, obviously as you can see, did the rolling start, which is new as well for this update. At least in the multiplayer. Which we unfortunately don't get to do a lot of multiplayer racing, being in the States. Unfortunately, the ranked servers, which I hear are very good, don't have a lot of activity with everything being European based, so we can't get into a lot of them. But yeah, so with 28 cars, AI set at 100. As you can see, we started P2 behind the fast Porsche here. Didn't qualify, and just running the default setup. And similar to the GT4 video and the GT2 video, we're just doing a 10-minute race. Got another Porsche behind us. The default setup does have some on throttle understeer. So if I was going to do setup work, I would look to get that out of there. Help the car rotate a bit. The Watkins Glen is very, very well done. Looks really good. And it's really exciting to have such a cool track. Finally in RaceRoom. I was very excited when they announced it. And if as we crest the hill here through the ESs, we'll understeer. If you look off to the right, a lot of the camping stuff, just the details is well done. Looks very nice. Caught a little love from behind in that Porsche. I think they've done a very good job with updating some of the BOP for the cars as well too. Just in the short practice session I did leading up to this, just to kind of get a feel, you can tell that certain cars have, you know, strengths and weaknesses on certain parts of the tracks, and they do a better job of depicting that than maybe they did in before. If you read oh boy. If you read the logs, there was a lot going on in this update besides just the 3 Audis. And then the 2 tracks and the Volkswagen and the both of the Volkswagens as well. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on, so just about a large majority of the cars went to the 4.0 tire model. I feel like you can really tell the difference. The car reacts a lot more. You get a better feel for what's going on. You're not maybe as surprised with some of the tire slips. So that's a very nice update. Still there. And in a corner similar to that, you can tell with this Evo kit that you have more downforce. In a similar style corner with the previous gens of Audi, you may not be able to grab the throttle as early as you can there. You'd have to wait longer, and that's, I mean, that's even with the on throttle understeer in this car. And Porsche had a really good run through the last corner. That's one thing I noticed too. If you make a mistake in that in the last corner here, if someone is behind you, they get a really monster run, which is good to see because that's what in real life you would see a little bit more often with this track. If you make a mistake, you would be punished for it. It's a very high speed track. As you've seen, there's a lot of high speed corners, so even the smallest of mistakes, you know, will be punished. Coming up the hill there, if you make a mistake through the S's, get a little loose enough to get off, somebody will come flying up your inside here as you head for the bus stop. I do feel like there might be a little bit too much curbing in the bus stop in real life, but again, right there through there, so the back end got a little light. And I feel like with this new tire model and some of the physics updates they've done, I could feel that a lot better through the wheel than I have before. And it was easier to catch. You knew the right amount of counter input you needed to be able to catch that. Wow, this Porsche got a good run through there. But again, this is kind of what I was saying about the BOP. They've done a very good job with it, and with the AI being at 100%, you can do some really good racing around here. Obviously, it's got the space to be able to do it. Head to the outside here. This may not be the best move, but let's see if we can tuck back in. That was nice to see though that the AI didn't, while on the inside for the bus stop, didn't just fly through there, you know, wildly. Catch it. Really slowed down. I had no intention of going too wide through there. I was just trying to slow up and tuck back in line, but not only did the AI recognize that they're another car there, but even when I did go too wide, it didn't do anything you know, that you wouldn't normally expect it to do if a normal car was there. Woo! Got her out to the wall there. The nice thing too is in practice I tested out that exit of the first corner there, because it's really easy obviously to run wide carrying too much speed, and if you pretty much get more than half the car off, it'll delete your time. Now obviously in the race it's a little bit different, but as far as practice and quals go, your laps will not count if you get out there, which is nice. I know in some of the other titles that Watkins Glen is in, you can really get out wide there and it doesn't really penalize you, which, yes, there's a lot of runoff there, but I'm very much against runoff. But I think the addition of Watkins Glen is obviously very nice, and I think you're going to be able to do some good multi-class racing around here. You know, GT3, GT4, some old school stuff with GTO, and maybe some Group C. Then obviously with the LMP2 GT3 class, I'd be able to do some of that around here as well too. So I think it'll be good for some multi-class racing. And then to get the Formula US F2, F3 would be a lot of fun around here too. So there's a lot of different types of racing you can do around Watkins Glen, which will be really fun. So this is a really great addition to RaceRoom. So that was a checkered flag. Our 10-minute race is over, and yeah, again, just want to thank Sector 3 for the addition of not only, you know, the new cars and new tracks, but all the work they're doing. Like I said, you know, with the change logs, there's so much that went into the big December update to help improve the title even more. And it's a title I really thoroughly enjoy. There's a lot of really great content in here, and I think they go about doing business the right way with all that stuff. So I'm a huge fan of RaceRoom, and yeah, definitely looking forward to getting a lot more content out there. So make sure to look forward to the channel. There'll be a lot more videos out, whether it be ACC or, like I said, RaceRoom here. And as always, take care, everybody.